hello. Yep, Burger King. Yep. Can I please get a Whopper meal, and a large fry? Yep. With ranch and a Dr. Pepper. Yep. Oh, you're CJ Stroud? Hey, CJ Stroud. Yeah, put fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. SKOL Vikings. 3-0. 3-0. SKOL, we did it again. Sam Darnold is Himothy. We did it again. So in honor of Mr. CJ Stroud becoming a Burger King worker, Whopper, 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 double, triple, single Whopper. Oh. For the Vikings. I couldn't forget. CJ Stroud, fries in bag. SKOL Vikes. We did it again. Moving to 3-0 on the season. With the ending of that game, Packers Hate Week has officially began. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to swallow my Whopper. Shout out CJ Stroud. Fries in bag. Fries in bag. Without further ado, though, let's get the celebration started. After work on a Monday, champagne, a Dr. Pepper, and a Whopper. Pretty unreal. Gonna go for like a 20-mile run tomorrow just so I can get all this out of my system. But I learned from last video I probably shouldn't shake this up as much because I almost broke my computer. But we'll give it a little shake. SKOL Vikings, baby. Oh, whew. Vikings beat the Houston Texans 34-7. An absolute domination of a game for the Minnesota Football Vikings. Every aspect. I don't even need to sit here and talk about it. If you watch the game, you know everybody played well. There wasn't one player other than Garrett Bradbury, whatever. One player other than him that had a bad game, in my opinion. I mean, Sam Darnold, man. God. This guy is just unreal, and he's continued to get better and better. And in my Vikings preview for this Texans game, I talked about if he can just eliminate that one bad throw he has a game, I mean, the sky's the limit. And look what he did. 0 interceptions, 4 tutties. His pass yards aren't like that great, but it doesn't matter. Like, 4 touchdowns is insane. I mean, you got to give it up for the man, Sammy Darnold. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. I woke up this morning after sleeping on that Vikings win, and it just hasn't truly set in. This is one of the most dominant. I know we're 3 games into the season, but still, one of the most dominant Vikings teams I've had the pleasure of watching in the last decade. And I've watched the 2017 Minnesota Vikings, and we were pretty damn good then. And then, I mean, 2020, what was it, 2022? It was 2022, that season when we went 13-4, even though in that season we weren't ever dominant. But it's just insane. Our defense looks night and day from last year. Like, our defense is arguably, and our offense is really good, our defense has arguably been the better phase, even though the offense has been, I mean, lights out, really. I mean, Jefferson, Jalen Naylor, shout out Jalen Naylor. I mean, filling in for the injured Jordan Addison for the second straight week. He's got a touchdown every single game. So has Justin Jefferson. It's pretty insane. And this team is without, as I said, Jordan Addison, who probably will be back next week, and without one of the premier tight ends in the league, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, that's pretty freaking ridiculous if you ask me. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we were without Ivan Pace, Dallas Turner, Blake Cashman, Mekhi Blackman. Like, all these studs, we still are putting these numbers up. I mean, it is ridiculousness what is going on in the state of Minnesota. And damn it, I love it. But, moving on, Packers Hate Week has officially began. It's gonna be a close game. The Packers, they've been without their starting quarterback Jordan Love, and they've been starting Malik Willis recently, and they've gotten 2 wins in a row, which is really frustrating. And the Lions should only have 1 win right now, and the Packers should only have 1 win too, or the Packers could be the Packers low-key shouldn't even have a win, but whatever. I'm just salty, but the Vikings sit at the top of the NFC North. Nobody thought this was going to happen, and it is hilarious. But back to the Houston game. I mean, the Vikings defense made C.J. Stroud look like Daniel Jones, really. And C.J. Stroud is one of the best young, up-and-coming quarterbacks in the NFL, undisputably. Nobody would disagree with that. They have 3 really good wide receivers, Tank Dell, Diggs, and I don't know why I'm blanking on the other guy, but whatever. You guys know who it is, probably. Yes, they were without Joe Mixon, but whatever. They had Cam Akers, former Viking. Cam didn't even have that bad of a game. He scored a touchdown, which I bet was nice for him to score against his former team after we didn't re-sign him, which I know a lot of Vikings fans wanted us to bring him back, even though Aaron Jones has really, really looked good. And Aaron Jones did not fumble at the 1-yard line this game, which was nice to see. I mean, I'm just so happy. Like, this 5-game stretch we have, starting the year, got off against the Giants, playing the Niners, then playing the Texans, then the Packers, and then the Jets. That's a tough stretch of games. That's a really, really tough stretch of games. Considering the Jets game is in London. Well, the good thing is we got Texans and we had the Niners at home, which was good to have those 2 at home. But a lot of people had us 0-3 to start the year. Now we're 3-0. We're one of the let's see, the Chiefs are undefeated. The Steelers, they're undefeated. The Bills play tonight, so they could remain undefeated. There's probably 3 or 4 teams that are undefeated still. The Vikings are one of them. I bet the odds on that were crazy. Speaking of odds, for the last 2 weeks, I have parlayed first touchdown Justin Jefferson with Vikings money line, and it has netted me over $250. And I've only thrown $10 on each of those bets. It's hit the last 2 weeks. It actually, if I had bet it week 1, it would have hit week 1. It would have hit 3 weeks in a row, which is absurd. So, I'm going to take it again, even though it's unlikely, but fuck, who knows. I will say this Packers game will be tough, but I think the Texans and the Niners are both better teams than the Packers. Fuck the Packers. But I'm just so happy for Kevin O'Connell and company, Brian Flores and company, Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones had a funny quote, just a little dig at the Packers. He was like, "This is the most fun I've ever had playing football." Yeah, fuck the Packers. Dude, I think he's gonna go crazy next week on Sunday against the Packers. It's his former team, Aaron Jones, if you didn't know, drafted by the Packers. It was there for 6 or something years, I guess. He's been a pain in the Vikings' craw for quite some time. And the Packers decided not to re-sign him, and they got Josh Jacobs. Arguably questionable, but Josh Jacobs is a great player. But Vikings got Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones stayed in division. He wants to play his former team twice, showing what they're missing. I respect the hell out of that. And I'm glad I don't have to root against him anymore. Because, my God, he's a damn good running back. Oh, man. I mean, just... Oh, and shout out Jonathan Grenard. 3 sacks against his former team. As I talked about in the preview video, this was a big storyline type of game. Stephon Diggs returning home to Minnesota. Stephon Diggs was drafted 5th round by the Minnesota Vikings a couple years ago. A while now. Fuck, almost 10 years ago now. Jesus. And Danielle Hunter drafted 3rd round by the Vikings out of LSU 7 or 8 years ago. And both of those guys... Well, Diggs has been gone for a little bit. Diggs was the guy that we traded. We traded to the Bills to get the pick that was selected to get Jefferson. You gotta love it. SKOL, baby. And then Danielle left in free agency. But basically, as I said in the last video, it was a swap of defensive ends, really. Danielle went to the Texans, signed there in free agency, and Grenard came to the Vikings in free agency. And Grenard had 3 sacks on his former team. That's respect. The Vikings D-line was getting pressures all damn game. Van Ginkel looked great again. I love Van Ginkel, man. I might have to get a Van Ginkel jersey. That's baller. What number is he again? Like 47 or something? I don't know. But that'd be a cold ass jersey to get. But yeah, I was watching the game on like Stream East all day yesterday in like an airport. It was ass, but I got to see my brother though. It was great to see him. He's doing great. I had a great time with some friends in DC. And now I'm back in the CL of T, baby. Charlotte represent. Speaking of Charlotte, shout out the Panthers getting their first dub of the year. Andy Dalton looking really good. I feel bad for Bryce Young though. You know what? He might get traded to the Dolphins though. The Dolphins are cheeks. Tua's gone and Skylar Thompson is literally terrible. But 3-0, I'm just... We got a long way to go, though. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself yet. But we have a long, long road. And it will not be easy. But, again, we just have to get to the bye week. I think 4-1 is our benchmark. So if we can go 1-1 in these last 2 games, I think we're looking good. Shit, if we can win them all, even better. But, hey, Packers hate week starts now. Fuck the Packers. I hate them. I hope Malik Willis starts, though. That'd be funny. He ain't gonna win 3 games in a row. That's just not gonna happen. I don't care if it's in Lambeau or not. Lambeau sucks. It's a shithole. It's the biggest toilet in the world. But yeah. SKOL Vikes, baby. SKOL Vikes. Thanks for joining the Jimmy SKOL 68 podcast once again. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. Enjoy the 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. This is a rarity. It doesn't happen often. And go Vikes! Fuck the Packers. Yeah! Woohoo!